Hello everyone. So in this session we will discuss about deadlock detection. So in the previous class we have discussed deadlock avoidance. So for that we have used Banker's algorithm. Now we will discuss about deadlock detection. So here what exactly the author is telling is the basic fact is if a graph contains no cycles, okay, if a graph contains no cycle, then there won't be any deadlock. Cycle means you know. Suppose if this is a process, process 2, process 3, process 4. If this is waiting for this is waiting for this is waiting for this, and this is waiting for this. Okay. Or if there are two processes, P1, P2. P1 is waiting for this, P2 is waiting for P1. So that is cycle. So if there are no cycles, then there won't be any deadlock. So we have to make sure whether there are any cycles or not. If there are any cycles, then the deadlock occurs. Okay. So here, what exactly the author is telling is, so here we have to check whether we have performed deadlock avoidance and deadlock prevention. If you have performed deadlock avoidance and deadlock prevention, it is okay. If you have not used the deadlock prevention or deadlock avoidance, then there is a chance that the deadlock may take place. Okay. So here, what exactly the author is telling is, we need to detect, okay, whether the deadlock occurs. That can be done by using deadlock detection algorithms. Okay, we will see those deadlock detection algorithms. So the deadlock detection algorithms, we have two varieties. The system has two varieties. There are nothing but single instance of resources, a multi-instance of resources. Okay, we will see them each in detail with an example. First, we will see single instance of resources. So this is single instance of resources. So here what we will have is, we will check whether there are weight for graph. We have to draw the weight for graph. Okay. So first we will be given resource allocation graph. RAG is nothing but resource allocation graph. Okay. The resource allocation graph will be given. For this we have to draw the corresponding weight for graph. Corresponding weight for graph. Corresponding weight for graph will draw, and for this, if there are cycles in this graph, then there is deadlock. Okay, if there are no cycles, no deadlock. Okay, so that is what the author has specified. See, the algorithm which we use for deadlock detection is weight for graph. Okay. So the weight for graph, we just detect the cycle. If there are cycles, if there is a cycle, then deadlock occurs. If there is no cycle, no deadlock. Okay, we will see this with an example. What is RAG? Resource allocation graph. We will see it with an example. So this is the first example for single instance of resources. See, so this is a resource allocation graph. Okay, this is resource allocation graph. Okay, now we are going to draw weight for graph. Now we are going to draw weight for graph. This is resource allocation graph. What is resource allocation graph? The resources were allocated to different processes. For example, if you see, resource R1 is allocated to process P2, whereas P1 is requesting resource R1. Similarly, R2, the resource R2 is allocated to process P1. Similarly, the resource R5 is allocated to process P4. The resource R4 is allocated to process P3. The resource R3 is allocated to process P5. Okay. So now what we have to do is, we have to draw weight for graph. In weight for graph, we will picturize only the processes. Okay. The process, for what the process is waiting for. Okay. Let us suppose process P1. See, if you see process P1 is holding resource R2, but P1 is requesting R1. So P1 gets R1 when this R1 is released by process P2. Means P1 is waiting for P2. Okay. See, we will draw. So process P1, okay, process P1 and process P2. See, process P1 is requesting resource R1, where R1 is being holded by process P2. So P1 gets R1 when P2 releases R1. So P1 is waiting for P2. P1 is waiting for P2. Okay, that means, so how we will read this? The process P1 is waiting for process P2. Then what about P2? P2 is holding resource R1, but it is requesting resource R3 and R4. Means when P2 will get R3, when R3 is released by process P5. So means P2 is waiting for P5. P2 is waiting for P5. As well as P2 is also requesting R4, where resource R4 is being used by process P3. If P3 holds R4 okay, can be utilized by process P2. Means P2 is waiting for P3 also. P2 is waiting for P3 also. Okay. Next, what about P3? P3 is holding resource R4, but it is requesting R5. R5 should be released by P4. Means process P3 is waiting for P4. So P3 is waiting for P4. Then what about P4? P4 is holding resource R5. At the same time, P4 is requesting R2. R2 is being held by P1. Means P4 is waiting for P1. P4 is waiting for P1. So with this we have covered all the processes and all the graphs. Okay. Now what we have to do is, after constructing wait for graph, now we have to check whether there is any cycle. Okay. So if you observe here, P1 is waiting for P2. P1 is waiting for P2. P2 is waiting for P3. P3 is waiting for P4. P4 is waiting for P1. So a cycle is formed. Okay, a cycle is formed. So it leads to deadlock. Okay. So here we have identified that we have detected by using the detection algorithm, by using the deadlock detection algorithm, we have identified that there is deadlock in the given RAG, resource allocation graph. Okay. So this is the way how we identify whether the deadlock is detected or not. This is the way how we detect the algorithm. Okay, by using wait for graph in single instance of resources. Okay. Now we will go for another example. Okay. So this is second example. This is also regarding single instance resource only. This is second example. Okay. So this is resource allocation graph. Resource allocation graph. This is resource allocation graph. We have to construct wait for graph. We have to construct wait for graph. So here it is very clear. The resource R1 is being held by process P2, whereas P1 is requesting R1. Similarly, P1 is requesting R2 also, resource R2, whereas R2 is being held by process P4. We will draw the figure, right? So we have, how many processes we have? P1, P2, P3, P4. Only 4 processes we have. P1, P2, P3, P4. So process P1 is waiting for P2. See, P1 is requesting R1, where R1 is being held by process P2. Means P1 is waiting for P2. So P1 is waiting for P2. Similarly, P1 is requesting resource R2, where R2 is being held by P4. Means P1 is waiting for P4 also. P1 is waiting for P4 also. Whereas P4, it is holding resource R2, but P4 is requesting resource R3, where R3 is being held by process P3. Means P4 is waiting for P3. P4 is waiting for P3. Then what about P3? P3 is waiting for, so here, okay. So now, if you see, the resource R4 is being held by process P3, where P2 is requesting R4. Means P2 is waiting for P3. P2 is waiting for P3. Okay. So now we have covered all the process and resources. Now we have to check for cycle. Okay. So P1, P2, P3, no. P1, P4, P3, no. So here, no cycles. So therefore, no deadlock. So here, since there are no cycles, so since here there are no cycles, we can say that there is no deadlock here. Okay, so in the previous example we have discussed, this is an example. So here for the given resource allocation graph, we have considered the wait for graph. Okay, for that we got the cycles. So there is deadlock here. So in the second example, so for the given resource allocation graph, we have considered the wait for graph, there are no cycles, means there is no deadlock here. Okay, so this is about single instance of resources. We will go for the second one, multiple instance of resources. So multiple instance of resources are nothing but if there are multiple instances of resources, what we do is we will try to eliminate the deadlock by using Banker's algorithm. Okay, here we use Banker's algorithm for eliminating the deadlock. Okay, we have explained it with an example. Let's go for the example. So this is the example. So multiple instances of resources, right? So this is an example. So here what we are given is, we were given different process. Okay, so we were given 5 different processes: P0, P1, P2, P3, P4. These are different processes. This is the allocation. Okay, resource allocation. So we have 3 different varieties of resources: resource A, resource B, resource C. So the process P0 was allocated with 0 resources of A, 1 B resource, 0 resource of C type. Okay, so P1 is allocated with 2 of resource A, 0 of resource B, 0 of resource C, like that. Okay, but still this request is nothing but P0 is allocated with these resources. It has requested these resources. These are the resources which are available. These are the total resources. The total resources available for A, resource A is 7, B is 2, C is 6. Okay, what we have to do is, we have to execute the processes one by one smoothly without forming the deadlock. Okay, we will check it whether there is deadlock here or not. Okay, so first we will check process P0. Okay, so these are the allocated resources. 0, 1, 0 are the allocated resources. Okay, so 0, 0, 0 are the request. So we will see here. We are discussing about the first one. So these three resources are allocated. So P0 is requesting 0, 0, 0. Available also 0, 0, 0. So we can execute process P0. Okay, process P0 can be executed first. Okay, why? Because it requests 0 resources and available resources are 0. Okay, so what happens? So this process P0 will be executed successfully. Okay, because its requirement is satisfied. It requires 0 instance of resource A, 0 instance of resource B, 0 instance of resource C. The available instance of resource A, B, C are also 0. So it is satisfied. So now this process P0 releases these three resources. It releases 0 instance of A, 1 instance of B, 0 instance of C. So when it releases, these should be added with the available. So 0, 1, 0 will be released. So what happens? So 0, 1, 0 are released. So we will add. So what happens? 0 plus 0, 0, 0 plus 1, 1, 0 plus 0, 0. So now the available resources are 0, 1, 0. Okay. Now we will go for P1. P1 is allocated with 2, 0, 0. It is requesting 2, 0, 2. It is requesting 2, 0, 2. But the available slots are 0, 1, 0. Here it requires 2, available 0. So P1 is not possible. Okay. P1 is not possible. Okay. So now what we do? Now we will go for P2. Process P2. P2 requires, see, allocated with 3, 0, 3. It requires 0, 0, 0. Available 0, 1, 0. Available 0, 1, 0. It requires 0, 0, 0. So we can execute P2 next. This one first. P2 second. Okay, we can execute P2 because the requirement is satisfied. It requires 0 instance of A, 0 instance of B, 0 instance of C. Okay, so we have 0, 1, 0 available. So when we execute P2, these allocated resources will be released. So 3, 0, 3 will be released. So it releases. So 3, 0, 3. So when it releases, what happens? It will be added. So when it releases, what happens? 3, 1, 3. Okay, this was executed. 3, 1, 3. Now the available resources are 3, 1, 3. Now we will go to process P3. So the allocated resources are 2, 1, 1. The requested resources, the required resources are 1, 0, 0. Available 3, 1, 3. So we can execute P3. So P3 can be executed. Third. Okay. So when it is executed, what happens? These after completion of the execution of process P3, 2, 1, 1, the instances of resource A, the instance of process P3, the resource of P3 will be released. So 2, 1, 1 will be released. So what happens? So 2, 1, 1 is released and they are added. So what happens? 3 plus 2, 5, 1 plus 1, 2, 3 plus 1, 4. Okay. So available resources are 5, 2, 4. So next we will go with the process P4. So process P4, it requests 0, 0, 2, available 5, 2, 4. So we can execute this. Okay. Can be executed. So 0, 0, 2 will be released. So when we release 0, 0, 2, 0, 0, 2, what happens? So 5, 2, 6 we will get. Okay. Now again we will go back to process P1. we will go back to process P1 because the P1 process is the only one which is left. So when we go to process P1, it is allocated with 200 resources. It requires 202 available 526. So we can execute this. This is fifth P1. So when it is executed after completion of the execution of process P1, these three resources will be released. So now what happens? 200 will be released. So now what happens? 7, 2, 6. These are the total. So 7, 2, 6. So finally, after completion of execution of all the processes, so finally the available resources are 7, 2, 6. They are nothing but total. The total available resources. They are nothing but total available resources. Means now all the resources are available. And the processes were executed successfully. And the order we have followed is, this is the order we have followed. P0, P2, P3, P4, P1. So we have executed successfully. So this is in safe state. So safe sequence. That is a safe sequence. And here no deadlock has occurred. No deadlock. Okay. Using Banker's algorithm, we have identified. So there is no deadlock here. Okay. This is about multiple instances of resources. Hope you have understood. Right. Now we will go for another example. If you check the another example, so this is an example. Okay, this is another example we will see. So process P0. Okay, so it is allocated with resources 0, 1, 0. It requires 0, 0, 0. Available resources are 0, 0, 0. Okay, total resources are instance A. Resource of instance, the number of instances for resource A is 7. Number of instances available for resource B is 2. Number of instances for resource C is 6. Okay. So we request 0, 0, 0, available 0, 0, 0. So first the process P0 will be executed. Okay, P0 will be executed. So these allocated resources will be released. So 0, 1, 0 released. So now what happens if we add 0, 1, 0. Now the available resources are 0, 1, 0. Now we will go. If you check process P1, so it requires, so process P1 requires 202. So 2, no, it is not possible. So P1 is not possible because it requires 202, 2 instances of resource A, but you have only 0 instance of resource A, right? Okay. Next P2, it requires 0 instance of A, 0, 0, okay. 0, 1, okay. But 1, 0, it requires 1 instance of resource C, but we have 0. It is not possible. So P2 is also not possible. So first we have verified P0. P2 is also not possible. We will go with P3, resource P3. It requires 1 instance of resource A, but resource A we have 0 instance. Okay, but it's not possible. So P3 is also not possible. Then what about P4? P4, 0 instance of resource A, 0. 0 instance of resource B, 1. So it requires 2 instance of resource C, but we have only 0 instance. So this is also not possible. If you go back again, P0 is already executed. The remaining P1, P2, P3, P4, it's not possible. So here, see. So process P0, only process P0 is executed. The remaining P1, P2, P3, P4. In these 4 cases, the deadlock has occurred. The deadlock has occurred or deadlock taken place, right? So with this, we'll wind up the session. So this is all about multiple instances of resources with deadlock, without deadlock. We have seen. Okay. With this, we will end our session. Okay. Thank you.